welcome to the Life Leadership Podcast with me, Leila Singh. This is the place where ambitious business professionals come to level up in their career and life. Here, we explore powerful strategies for leadership development. We dive into career and personal mastery, mental fitness, and building a standout personal brand. So if you're ready to play a bigger game and unlock your hidden potential to thrive in this fast evolving world of life and business, then you're in the right place. So let's dive in. Let's talk about today's topic. And this is about the secret to more opportunities and to leading a happier life when it comes to not only your career, but the impact that your career is having on your personal life. So what if I told you that the key to more confidence, to bigger, greater opportunities, and a happier life actually lies in how you choose to invest in your career? In other words, in the way that you show up. Why? Because too many people believe that hard work alone is enough, and yet they remain feeling overlooked, frustrated, and possibly stuck. Here's the truth. How you show up in your career changes everything. And what I wanted to share with you are some common challenges and struggles that typically a lot of my clients deal with, and also people I just speak to on a day-to-day basis. And to really look at the impact that these struggles are having both on your career, but not only that, on your personal life. Why? Because often we will just stick our head in the sand and pretend it's all okay, or we'll actually just say, well, that's just work, and we'll compartmentalize. And believe me, I get it, because I used to be that person. We can compartmentalize different areas of our life and say, well, that one doesn't impact this, and it's okay. I have to do it. I have to work to pay the bills and so forth. And I hate it, or I'm feeling stuck, or I'm feeling overlooked. And it doesn't matter, because I'm happy at home. I'm happy in the rest of my life, my family life and my social life and so forth. The reality is not that is not the case. The reality is that actually, if some area of your life isn't working well for you, it is going to have a detrimental impact on other areas of your life too. So we're going to look at a couple of these challenges, in fact, 3 of them that I believe are the most common that you might be dealing with right now, and what the actual impact of that is for you. Okay, so the first one is maybe that you're feeling invisible or overlooked when it comes to your career. So what's the impact of that, first of all? The impact on your career is that you could miss opportunities because you're being overlooked. People aren't considering you when the opportunity shows up. And you might find that your colleagues, your peers are recognized for promotions and high visibility projects, while you are left getting unnoticed. Your skills are not noticed, they're not valued. It could be that you're feeling that stagnation, that you're just not moving. So there's no clear progression path for you, because the decision makers are unaware, quite simply, of the value that you're bringing and of your capabilities. Possibly you're underpaid, you're feeling underpaid, and you're delivering the results, but you aren't being rewarded financially because you're not top of mind when it comes to that limited pot, to that limited budget that we're all familiar with. But moreover, it's not just about this impact in your career when you're in the workplace. It's also about the impact on your personal life. So think about the frustration and the resentment that might be showing up for you. Perhaps you're feeling undervalued because it now affects your motivation as a consequence. And then this can leave you feeling deflated. You might just disengage. And that's not good for anyone. What about your confidence and the erosion of that over time? Because maybe you start believing that you're simply not good enough, and that is why you're being overlooked. This can impact strained relationships. So confidence can affect your life outside of work. Frustration and resentment can lead into your home life. Strained relationships can be another consequence of this. So any of that frustration in the workplace can spill into your personal relationships with your partner, your children, and your wider friends and family. and this can lead to disconnection with your loved ones. So that there's a wider impact to this. And you might be thinking, well, what is the solution? How can I address this? Well, one of the key things here is to really get clear on defining your strengths, your values, and what you stand for, so that you can consistently communicate that to the people around you, the people that matter. For example, the hiring managers, the decision makers. Not only that, you want to think about other people and their perception of you. So focus on building that awareness for others of who you are, what you stand for, what value are you really bringing to the table, and cultivate and nurture those relationships as well with those people who can champion you for your work. And all of these aspects I'm going to share with you in terms of solutions are what I teach and coach around within my Leadership Launchpad, my program that I run with my clients. The second problem or struggle that I want to address here is, for some of you, you might be feeling like you're stuck. You're stuck in a cycle of stress, of overwork, and maybe that lack of recognition. If this is you, then pop a yes in the comments and let me know. What is the impact of this when it comes to the stress, the overwork, and the lack of recognition? Burnout is an obvious one. Working longer hours without any recognition can drain both your creativity and your productivity and have a significant impact on your health. Reduced performance because of the impact it's having on your health, the overwhelm, the stress that can lead to making errors, missing deadlines, and a decline in the quality of your work. And then there's a lack of progression because of the lack of recognition. And there you have, we come back to what we said at the start, which is the hard work alone is not enough. So without the visibility, you could simply be seen as a doer, but not as a leader, somebody that they want to see progress in the organization. So you want to be positioning yourself as someone who is a leader, who has leadership qualities. What therefore, so I've shared there some of the impacts this might be having for you if you're stuck in that cycle of overwork, of stress, and lack of recognition. That's the impact on your career in isolation. But what is the wider impact of this? There's health issues. So you could have chronic stress that starts to manifest itself physically through maybe fatigue, through illnesses, or simply mental exhaustion. Can you resonate with this? Maybe you know somebody who's been through this and how difficult it is to come out the other side. You don't want to get yourself into this position. So what can you do to prevent it or to manage your situation? Another impact is neglecting relationships, particularly your personal relationships, because if you're working long hours, it means you've got less time for your family, your friends, and also for your personal interests. Not only that, but if you're exhausted, if you're fatigued, you're frustrated, think about the mood that you'll be in when you're showing up once you leave the office or you log off for the day. How are you being for the people around you? And also another impact can be a loss of purpose. So if you're constantly feeling unrecognized, this can leave you actually questioning your professional goals as well as your personal goals. And then your lack of purpose just diminishes because of the strain that you are under. And what is the solution here? One of the solutions is to really work on do the inner work around mindset and around your perspective. So shifting your mindset to prioritize strategic work and setting clearer boundaries. And this requires reprogramming your neural pathways. Also thinking about your self-belief. How can you build up your belief, your confidence in yourself? Thinking about the decisions that you're making. Are you making decisions from a confident place, or are you making it from a place of feeling frustrated, of fatigue, and of stress? So you're not making the best decisions, whether that's for you and for the people around you. Again, whether that's in the workplace or it's at home or in your personal life. For example, learning to confidently say no to the overwork, to the extra work that's being piled upon you. Perhaps being more strategic and focusing on the high impact tasks that really showcase your leadership. So those are some of the things you can consider to come out of this cycle. And then the last problem I want to talk about here today is imposter syndrome and lacking confidence to self-promote. Why? Because self-promotion is key. It is essential to having people made aware of your value, of your capabilities, your experience, and what you're bringing to the table, the impact that you are making. And when you struggle with this, this is where the missed recognition can come in, because often people have a fear around bragging, what they deem to be bragging. And this can hold you back from sharing your wins, your achievements, your accomplishments, and this leaves your contributions unnoticed. People aren't aware of them. You need to be able to speak up and share them. Make yourself known. Another impact is you're left staying in the shadows. So that means is you avoid speaking up, whether that's in meetings, in networking situations, or simply presenting ideas. So think about, where are you maybe stepping back and staying in the shadows and not really showing up and showing and sharing the ideas, connecting with people, building your network, and speaking up in meetings where otherwise you would once have done so, because of how the imposter syndrome is impacting you and the lack of confidence. Think about also the lack of career progression. This is another impact of imposter syndrome and of lacking that confidence. Because when we doubt our self-worth, it makes it difficult for other people to recognize our abilities, but also it makes it harder for us to then negotiate for promotions, because if you're doubting your worth, how are you going to build that business case around the value that you're bringing, such that you build a case that's strong enough for people to consider you for the pay rise or the promotion or a new opportunity? So there's significant impacts again in your career, but stepping out of that box, we then look at the wider impact on you and your life. For example, you might be dealing with constant anxiety because you're lacking that confidence. You're dealing with imposter syndrome. Maybe you have that fear of being found out as a fraud, and that leads to stress and perhaps even self-sabotage. And this can impact or impede in your personal life. Then there's isolation. Maybe you withdraw from that social network or from your professional connections. And this in turn will reinforce that cycle of invisibility. And low self-worth. When we are experiencing low self-worth, we have a belief often that we don't deserve that success and the overall happiness. And this impedes on how we're feeling and all areas of our life, because we don't value ourselves. We don't value the fact, because it's a fact that we are deserving of greater success, of greater happiness, and of greater fulfillment. And here there's a couple of things you can consider. One is your executive presence, so thinking about your posture. So is what is going on in here impacting on the way that you carry yourself, your posture, your body language, and how does that therefore influence people around you? For example, if you're feeling fatigued, if you're lowering your self-worth and lacking in confidence, does that project in the way that you show up, for example, in a meeting, the way that you walk into your office or into a networking event? And here you want to look at developing your executive presence, your non-verbal communication, your body language, in other words, so that you are projecting confidence even when the self-doubt arises. And we talked earlier about your mindset, so developing a winning mindset, optimizing your mindset. One of the things you can do here is to start to reframe those limiting beliefs that you might hold about yourself as a consequence of, let's say, conversations you've had or something somebody's once said to you that's now impeded on your confidence levels. How can you reframe that into a belief that is empowering for you as a truth? What is the reality here? What is the truth about you, your capabilities, and the value that you're bringing? Are you going to take one person's comment or opinion to impact the rest of your life and your career trajectory, or are you going to really dig deep and look at the truth of what you are bringing and what you can do to harness that and bring that to people's awareness around you. Acknowledge your skills, recognize the breadth of your experience, and of course, the value that you have to bring to the table. All of these areas are things that we address, we tackle, and we overcome when we look at the work that we do together with my clients. These are great examples of some of the challenges clients have come to me with because they're struggling and they're feeling stuck. And there are so many benefits here in really investing in your career. Now, whether that is investing in a coach, whether that's investing in programs or seeking mentorship, whatever it means for you when it comes to investing in your career, there are so many benefits of this. For example, there's gaining that clarity on your unique value. So many people haven't spent time on this, and just creating some space. And coming up to the holiday season now is a great opportunity to create that space, to start to look at what is my value, what do I bring to the table, looking at your skills, your experience, your accomplishments, your achievements, looking at your strengths and what you stand for. What is it you want to be known for when it comes to your career? Having clarity on that will help you to exude that when you're interacting with people around you. The next thing, confidence. We've talked about that here today. Showing up powerfully and overcoming any beliefs that might be holding you back. Confidence comes from within. It's not about other people giving you validation. It's about what's going on in here to really have that belief in yourself. And once you can build that up, it will naturally come out and flow to the people around you. It will be projected onto the people, the level of confidence that you have. Visibility is key. Becoming a go-to person, for example, for new opportunities, for other people referring you. Because you're visible, people know who you are. They know the value that you bring. So a number of benefits to investing in addressing each of these areas so that you can be recognized and promoted, or given those opportunities that you feel like you're missing out on. And a couple of examples I want to share of clients I've worked with in recent years. There's one client, we call him client A, and he is a client who transformed from being overlooked and almost ignored for years and years to now leading teams. Not only that, he was being brought into GLT, leadership team conversations with the executives, because they recognized and valued his point of view. Tangible results for him were 2 promotions during the time that we were working together, significant pay rises, and with this I mean a 49% pay rise, which was unprecedented in this organization after about 18 months of us working together. And in the first 6 months, he received a 28% bonus, and the following year, a 39% bonus. So there are tangible benefits, but that's not what this is about solely. Yes, it's about the pay rise and monetary gain, but it's also about feeling recognized, valued, and fulfilled in your roles. Remember, you're spending 8 or more hours a day working, 5 days a week, a significant part of your life. You want it to be a place where you're feeling that recognition, you're happy, you're fulfilled, and you'll bring that energy into your personal life as well. Another example, we'll call this client C, is somebody who was really struggling with his confidence and lacking in executive presence as a consequence. And this also impeded on his communication style, particularly when he was required to present. So we worked on this. We worked on building his confidence, on developing powerful executive presence, and also honing his delivery style so he could deliver compelling and engaging presentations. What has happened since? He's been promoted to director level. He's being brought in to other teams to deliver presentations, to deliver training, something that would never have happened before we started working together. And of course, the bigger impact is he's a lot happier, he's feeling more fulfilled, and this feeds into his personal life too. So there are huge advantages taking the time to invest in yourself, whatever that looks like for you. So as you can see, I wanted to share here that the struggles that we face in the workplace are deeply interconnected, and they are impacting not only your career, but potentially your personal life as well, your relationships, your health, and so much more. And this could be from a lack of clarity, lack of confidence, or perhaps visibility. And all of this then can directly impact the way that you communicate. Are you communicating effectively and confidently? Are you making an impact? Are you able to influence people around you? Are you instead perpetuating feelings of invisibility, feelings of stress or imposter syndrome? And when you take the time to do work on each of these areas and really overcome and hone them and develop the positive aspects that we've shared today, you get to unlock your real potential. You get to position yourself as a confident, visible leader. When I refer to leader, I'm not only talking about a job title here. I'm talking about showing up as a leader, no matter the position that you are in. And all of this leads to greater opportunities, both personally and professionally. So I want to briefly introduce you to the Leadership Launchpad. This is the program that I am launching, group program, in the new year as a solution for you if you are struggling with any of the areas we have talked about today and you are ready to step up and to create change both in your career and in your life. What does the program offer? It offers the opportunity to really get clear on you, your value, what you're bringing to the table. And by the way, all of this makes it so much more natural when it comes to having conversations about promotions, about recognition, or simply going for an interview. It helps with building your confidence, gaining clarity on your personal brand, and developing that executive presence. And that presence is what people use to form opinions and first impressions before you've even uttered a word. What else does it do? The program also helps you to position yourself for promotions, for recognition, and for bigger, greater impact. All of the clients I have worked with over the last 10 years have had at least one, if not more, promotions and significant increases in their compensation. So if you are somebody who is wanting and ready to invest in yourself to accelerate your success, both in your career and in your life, then let's talk. Let's have that conversation. Here's something one of my clients said to me very early on in our time of working together. And he said, if I don't invest in myself, why would anyone else? And what he meant by that was he's chosen to invest in himself so that he can step up in his career. And as a direct consequence of that is where his employer and his managers invested in him. They gave him the bonus, the pay rise. This is the client I mentioned, client A, who secured significant increases in his pay, in his salary, as well as significant bonuses within the space of 18 months. So think about it. If you don't invest in yourself, why would anybody else? Your career is your most powerful investment. Why? Because it impacts not only your career trajectory, it impacts your life, your personal life as well. The confidence, your opportunities, and your happiness will follow as a consequence of really investing in yourself and being able to elevate yourself in your career, showing up as a true leader. So if you are somebody who is ready to take control of your career, to stand out as that leader that you're meant to be, and to embrace bigger opportunities and lead a happier and more fulfilled life, let's connect. Drop me a comment below, direct message me on LinkedIn, and let's have a conversation. I will pop a link in the comments below, which gives you details, far more details about the program. We do have a special offer available at the moment, which is valid until Friday, this Friday, the 20th of December. And we're offering half price investment in the program for 6 months. It's an absolute no-brainer when you consider that working with me on a one-to-one basis starts at £2,500. This in itself, this program is a no-brainer for you to have direct access to me, support, coaching, and mentoring from me. And not only that, a great community of other career professionals, all on the same path, all striving for bigger goals, playing a bigger game, and leading a happier and more fulfilled life. I'm very much about the holistic process. It's not just about a strategy to get yourself an interview and to get yourself a job. It's also about the bigger impact, the wider impact, and how you show up as that leader for yourself and for those around you. So if this is something that sits with you, resonates with you, and you think, actually, I maybe want to explore this, absolutely no obligation. Just reach out to me. Let's have a chat. Have a look at the link that's in the comments below. There's a wealth of information there about the program, how it works, what it offers, what the outcomes can be for you if you're ready to invest in taking that next step. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already done so. And if you enjoyed and gained value from today's episode, then do please leave a review telling us your key learnings and what you enjoyed the most. And do please share this podcast with your friends and colleagues so we can spread the word on life leadership, creating a life of choice, freedom, and new possibilities. Connect with me directly on LinkedIn, and if you would like to learn more about how we can work together, either DM me on LinkedIn or email me. All details and resources can be found in the show notes.